Wait, let me open my camera. I'll just edit
Uh,
this. Hi.
Hello, everyone. Hope all of you are doing well. And we are back with another amazing session on add-on. And we have Jyotsna Gupta ma'am with us. And she's a software developer and she's a tech speaker at Mozilla. And she's going to tell us about add-ons. And uh, for my kind knowledge, I know Jyotsna Gupta ma'am has developed and published an privacy theme add-on called PrivateX. So really looking forward for this session and hope we will learn a lot of things from her. And so without any delay, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Vikram. Thanks a lot. Hello, everyone. So today, let me just share my screen. And yeah, is my screen visible? I hope it's visible, Vikram.
Yes, ma'am, your screen is absolutely visible.
Cool. So I'll start with the introduction. What the topic is, as you already know, that I'll be talking about add-ons or extensions. So I'll give you a brief idea firstly about myself. So I'm Jyotsna and I am a Mozilla TechSpeaker. I've been contributing to Mozilla for the past 5 years, almost 5 to 6 years, and I'm a Mozilla representative as well. And apart from these things, I try to contribute to the add-ons community at Mozilla in various forms. Like I'm currently a add-ons content reviewer. I'm also into the recommendation extension community board member. I've been involved as a judge as well for the Firefox Quantum Extension Challenge. So I've been involved in various forms like giving workshops on add-ons or mentoring people on add-ons. So feel free to ask me any questions related to add-ons or add-ons community later in during the Q&A part once I complete the session. Yeah, this is the agenda which you can see. Like I'll be talking about add-ons, what are extensions, what are web extensions. So these are few of the things which I might be able to clear these things today. And what is the architecture of web extensions? Like if you see a extension, then what is the internal stuffs which you can look into it as a developer of an add-on, not just as a user of add-on. So post the session, you might be able to create a basic add-on, or we can have a very basic add-on on your system. You can try with me along with, and how to build that add-on using web extension API. So I'll be telling you that and giving you a brief idea about that as well. And let's say if you have already built a Chrome add-on, then how can you port one add-on from Chrome to other browsers like Brave, or it could be Firefox or Microsoft Edge as well. So I'll be talking about these things. I'll covering up in the basic view. So first, let's talk what is actually an add-on. So uh, people say that, like, if you generally ask someone who is very new to browser or internet or completely new to an add-on, then you might say just it extends and modify the functionality of the browser, or it actually you try to contribute to the browser speed or pace or anything. So that gives you the power to leverage the browser. Actually, it could be Chrome or it could be Firefox, or it could be Edge. But if you want to, even if you're saying this to a new person or who's very new to the internet technology or browser, then he or she might not be able to understand this. So I've just given an analogy that I consider browser with add-ons just like a shoes with lights. So we all know that we need shoes to wear, right? Like we all need shoes to go out of our house. So shoes are the bare minimum thing which is required. So irrespective of any weather, we need that. But shoes with lights is something like, you might, some of the people might like it, or some of the people might not like it at all, because few might think that this is fancy, few might think that this is very childish, right? So so I consider shoes as browser, which is the bare minimum thing one requires to browse the internet. And shoes, the lights are actually add-on. Few might like it, few might not like it, as per the requirement. So it's up to the user to use which kind of add-on suits their requirement or user's preference actually. So I hope this gave the basic overview what is an add-on, and now you will be able to make anyone or even your parents understand what is actually an add-on. So let's see few of the examples. I've not been asked to promote them. This is my personal choice to. Like, this is a disclaimer that I'm not promoting these add-ons. It is my personal choice, and I find them really good. I use them. That's why I'm just sharing few of the add-ons, which might give you a basic overview. Okay, you might think, okay, I've used this add-on, I can make it too. So this is why I'm just giving you basic examples. Like, I think that 90% or at least 70% or to 80% people might have already been using this Grammarly add-on, right? So if those people who are not using them, using it, you can try it out, and I'll tell you what does it actually do. So if you are using Chrome or Firefox, you can just install the Grammarly extension, Grammarly add-on, and it will help you while writing me email or anything word document. It will tell you what are the problems are there in your grammar, and it will find it, and it will also suggest some fixes, and you are free to choose those fixes. Let's say if the attached spelling is wrong, it actually suggests you that this is the wrong thing, and it also helps you, it gives you the suggestion in which you can uh, accept it or reject it as well. So this is what Grammarly helps, and it is, I try to use it in my day-to-day life, because writing mails, we tend to miss up anything. Like, it could be grammatical mistake, it could be punctuation errors, or it might be something like which I don't know already, and it helps me to learn my own, like to fix my own grammar as well. So try it out. It's free, completely free. And next one is Ghostry. So Ghostry is a privacy themed add-on. So those people who are aware or who try to think that their data is very sensitive to them. So for them at least, they might be already using, but I want to make people understand that your data is very valuable, and hence privacy comes in the picture over the internet. And since I'm talking about privacy, this is why Ghostry comes into the picture. If you want to, let's say, you're very concerned about what are the trackers there on the website who are tracking you, so you can actually install this Ghostry add-on, and you can actually see if you're visiting some website, what are the trackers are there, what are the advertisement clicks are there, number of trackers on their website, and you can also block them as well. So you can see if you are visiting some website, let's say Quint or any Live Mint or Bloomberg Quint, then you might see, for it could be 50 number of trackers which are tracking you right at that page. So for that purpose, you might not want them to track you. In that case, you can block them, or sometimes you might be okay just to know, okay, these trackers are tracking you, and you can just let them go off, and you might not block them, but at least you can have an overview, like which website should you use, or you can analyze that if some website are giving you the same information like Times of India or Queen, then which one should you prefer, right? So you can analyze, and you can enjoy actually, and hence your page load will, the speed to load your page, specific page, will be increased, because trackers are not tracking you anymore, right? So anyhow, it will show you how what's the load speed now, which has increased. Yeah, next one is Private X. As Vikram mentioned, that I've built an Private X add-on, which is a privacy themed add-on. So I'm not boasting, or I'm just showing it here for the purpose that if I can build, I'm not a JavaScript person. I'm a backend developer. I'm not a front-end developer even. I write code in Golang mostly, or backend stuffs, and but I was able to build an add-on in JavaScript. So I think anyone can build any add-on with vanilla js or something, and I created this add-on because I felt there was a need to build this, because I was facing one of the issue that generally I was aware that I should open banking or traveling booking sites in an incognito window or private window, because we as if you let's say if you are visiting Make My Trip, and you're trying to book a flight, then next time if you are opening the same website, then it might increase the flight rates. You might have experienced this. I think at least I have experienced this. And So basically what happens is make my trip or any other website or traveling booking sites are actually tracking you and hence increase the rates, right? Similarly, if you are viewing net banking, it is recommended that you should view your net banking websites in a private or incognito window. In order to do that, I generally fail to open incognito window because I have to type the whole URL of the net banking sites or tracking window because we are generally in a hurry. So what I did was, if I'm trying to open any website or net banking or travel booking website on my normal window, then it will alert me that you should actually you this will alert me with click here for private browsing. If I click that specific button of my add-on, then it will open the respective website in a private window directly. So without the hassle of copying the whole URL and doing the copying the URL or opening or wasting time, it you just need to open it in a normal window, and you can just by clicking a button, it will open the same thing in a new window. Not only a tab, it will open it in a private window or incognito window. So the all I want to say is it is a very small add-on, but it is very helpful, right? So if you see another add-on, Facebook container, you might I think you 900% people might be using Facebook already, right? So what Facebook container does, it lets you to isolate your Facebook identity with the whole world. So let's say if you're viewing, you might have experienced something like you are viewing some shoes or something. It might be a book, or you are trying to book a flight on Amazon, or you're doing purchasing some item. You might see the same items on Facebook while accessing in ads, right? So this is because Facebook can actually see what are you actually, it tracks you whatever are you are viewing on your web page, web browser, right? So if you have installed Facebook container, then it will actually isolate your Facebook session with the whole other stuffs. So what it means that you won't see the ads of Amazon if you're viewing the Amazon simultaneously along with Facebook. So you will just see normal ads. It won't be related to your previous activities, previous browsing experience. So it is very helpful, and it is developed by Mozilla, and you can try using it. It's also free of cost. Next is Tabby Cat. I'm not sure how many people like cats here, but if you are a lover of cat or dogs or something like that, then you can see that it is just an add-on. If you try to create a new tab, it will try to give you different cats, and you can pet them as well. It will snudge, you can snudge them as well. So what I mean to say is it is a very kind of a cute add-on, and someone has built an add-on, and if you search the number of users using this add-on, you will be amazed to see that how many people are using that. And please do check out that, because it will help you in understanding the fact that your add-on need not to be a very powerful or AI built add-on like Grammarly. So Grammarly, we know that it is a recommendation based as well. It has AI powerful model, and it is a company now. So your add-on need not to be a company, like it need not to be a AI related or AI power. It should not be very powerful technical wise as well. It could be just cute as Tabby Cat, or it could be something like Private X, which is solving your day-to-day problem, and you can just publish it. So the idea to give you the examples are just here to consolidate the fact that you can just create an add-on for whatever choices or whatever features you want to build on. And now let's get a bit technical, and let's see what is actually a web extension. So web extensions are basically a cross-browser system for developing your browser add-ons. So with web extensions, I mean that you can build your add-on for Chrome, for Edge, or for Firefox too. So it is a cross-browser system. So it's nothing like if you're building a add-on for Firefox, so you can't run it on Chrome. You can do that too, but with few of the changes. I'll talk it about that later on. So and why did I mention about web extensions? Basically, it's because as I mentioned in the starting, I am not a JavaScript person, or I'm not a front end person. I am just a backend developer, and just very basic skills. When I started doing add-on, I didn't had any experience, much industry experience, and you might be already having that. I am as using. So if you know basic HTML, CSS, and basic stuffs, basic Java, it's all good. If you don't know, then also you can gather some knowledge and try learning JavaScript. Not even not learning, I actually build the add-on while learning JavaScript at the same time. So if I can do that, you can also do that just by googling the stuffs and learning, and there are n number of resources which are there already, and you can utilize them and build an add-on using vanilla JS. You can also use different frameworks which are already there, but right now I'm talking about in a very basic layman language that you can use vanilla JS to start building an add-on. I have built a private X using vanilla JS basic stuffs, and I'll show you the code base at the end of this session. Also, the reason is if you want to run the same add-on on different browsers, you just need few changes and you can publish the same add-on on different browsers. And since it is a cross-browser system, every browser is promoting to build an add-on on their browser. So, and it's web extensions only. So you can actually read the resources from different like different browsers like Mozilla. You can read, you can get their documentation. If you don't like their documentation, you can refer to the Chrome documentations. So but overall, if you're referring to Chrome documentation, you can ultimately build for Firefox too, right? So whatever documentation suits you, you can go for that. And a lot of documentation, because of this reason, a lot of documentation is there, multiple from multiple resources. I hope I'm a bit clear till here, and you feel free to ask me any question at the end of the. If you have any questions, then I'll suggest you to write it down and ask me at the end of the session, so that there won't be any time lag. And yeah, let's start with the architecture of web extensions. What is how and what is the anatomy of extensions? So if I break it down in terms of development, so there are few of the components which you might hear every single time, or these are the terminologies which are there in any add-on. So one of them is manifest.json, which is actually one of basic. It is the most important component in an add-on, which is kind of a heart of an add-on, where everything gets started. So other components are background page, content scripts, browser action, page action, option page, web accessible resources. So as you can see, background page has HTML or JavaScript, content script has, it could be JS or CSS. So this way, every component is getting its own, it has its own feature, and I'll get into it now. So this is how when manifest.json looks like. So I have provided the manifest, like structure of manifest.json of private X. So I hope you guys are aware with what is a JSON format. So JSON format is key value pair. So here's the key and the value is attached to it in from colon. And manifest, so this is the structure of manifest.json. It needs to be followed. You cannot miss any fields, apart from optional fields, otherwise your add-on won't work at all. So that's why I call it that this is the heart of the add-on, and from here everything gets started. So it has manifest version, which needs to be 2. That means we are using the web extension API version 2 actually, and it needs to be uniform. It can't be 3, it can't be 1, it can't be anything. You can't miss this, otherwise it won't get to know, okay, that if you are not using it, then add-on won't get to know, okay, this is the web extensions API. You are using the second version of extensions API. So next is name. The value could be anything, whatever the name of your add-on. Next is version. You can version your add-on. So let's say today I build some feature, and if I'm building some feature and I want to upgrade enhance some new features, or I want to fix some bugs which are there. So what I can do is I can just change the versions. As you can see, there are different versions in any Android app or in any software out there. So while versioning, if you are aware of the versioning, this is the way in industry versioning happens. You can just name it 1 2 3 4 5, but it would be very layman. So this is the way how it should be. Value. So it starts with 0.0.1. So let's say if it's a minor bug fixes or some patches, then you increment the last value. I would suggest you to read this versioning thing because it will be helpful for you in terms of in interviews as well. Not only with respect to this add-on, it is for any person who is a developer. So like if you are fixing some, it is bringing some changes, then you will increment the second value only. So if you are bringing if there are any breaking changes, then you will increment the first value. So you can read about it, but this is how the versioning works. And but yeah, you are free to use just only 1 2 3 4 only. You are not basically restricted to use this format, but this is the industry format. Next is description. By description, you can just provide the descriptions of your add-on, what the add-on is doing. It could be a 2-line or 1-line description, which needs to be there. And next is icons. You can give the location of the icon, where is it located, so that it can fetch it and it can be shown on the browser on your browser actually. Next is permissions. Permission is another key which is very important. I'll focus this later in the security part or while explaining the APIs. But with permission, it actually gives you it is for security purpose. It gives the permission to specific APIs actually, so that you can use it for your add-on. Next is page action, then default title, then background scripts. I'll get into it more, but it has all the components. Page action, default title. Default title would be something like if you hover over on the add-on, it will show the small subscript kind of thing. And I'll show you how does it look like. Next is background script. That is the script which gets loaded as soon as your extension is loaded. So so it is one of the, like, you will write the logic here in the background script. It's a JS file, and it will, once you install your add-on, load your add-on, then it will get executed and it will be continuously running. It will stay loaded unless you don't disable it, disable the add-on, or you don't uninstall it. So it will be always, like, it will have some scripts, JS scripts or something is running, and it will always run in background. And there are let's say n number of web extensions APIs which you can use. You can use any of them in background script. You are free to use, and this is how it looks in manifest.json. I can show you that this is one of the key feature, and you provide so background and scripts are the keywords. You can't change, like, you cannot write backgrounds, or you cannot misspell it at all, because these are the syntaxes. But this file name, background script -script.js, it could be anything, whatever is there in your add-ons directory. Next is content scripts. So with content script, I mean that it is another kind of script similar to background scripts, but not exactly. So it is a normal you can refer it as a normal script getting loaded to the specific pages. So let's say if you want to run something on Google, while you access google.com, then it will run. You can use content scripts for that purpose, because it will run only when you want to do some activity, or you want to run some logic on google.com. And it actually helps you in accessing the DOM structure, and you can use only a specific subset of web extensions API. So let's say there are 50. I'm just giving you a random number. Let's say there are 50 web extensions APIs, out of which everything can be consumed by background scripts. As I mentioned, that you can use each of them. But when you are writing when you are trying to access in content script, you can't do that. You can use only specific. Let's say it could be a number of 25 scripts on 25 APIs only you can access in web content scripts. But what happens to the other 25 or other web extensions API which you can't access through content scripts? So for that purpose, what one can do is you can just exchange messages through background script. So background scripts act as a mediator. You can actually call content script, and from content script you can talk to background script, and in turn return background script will access that specific API and will get the response and will send it back to the content script. And this is how you communicate through the for the APIs which you cannot access directly through content scripts. And this is done for the security purpose. And content scripts, you can if you want to run specific JS files like jQuery JS in the code snippet, if you can see jQuery JS, content script JS, these scripts will be running whenever you hit any URL, any address with the mozilla.org domain. So whenever the anything keyword matches with the mozilla.org domain, then these scripts will be getting loaded. And let's say if you're accessing google.com, then these scripts won't be running at all. The logic won't run. Hope this made sense. Next is browser action. With browser action, so there are two things. One is browser action and another thing is page action. So browser action is the thing, let's say I have given you the example of Grammarly. This is the Grammarly. If you install Grammarly add-on, then it will be shown on the browser toolbar. And next is page action. If this is the example of private X, which is actually shown on the address bar. So what is the actual difference is that whenever you are sure that your add-ons feature are applicable to all the websites, then you will be using it. You will be obviously using it on the browser toolbar bar, and for that you use browser action in your code base. So in the manifest.json you can use browser action with each of the icons and the default title and the default pop-up. So this is how you can look. And but when you are sure that your add-on features are applicable to for particular websites, let's say this is the example of private X, and as I mentioned already that private X works only for net banking sites or travel booking sites. So I am aware that it won't be work. The add-on features are not applicable to google.com or any of the websites apart from travel booking or net banking sites. That's why I made it to the address bar, and for which I am using page action. I hope I'm clear till this point. So everything is similar in the code snippet apart from the keyword page action and browser action, nothing else. Next is option page. I'll not focus a lot on this, but just letting you know that this helps you to define the preferences for the extensions. Like for whatever extension you download, you install, then a user will install those extension. But inside that also you will have a lot of settings that some extensions might say. Let's say I'm using private X and I want my user to there could be a possibility that whenever they are hitting some net banking site, I might alert them or I might notify them. So by notifying, I mean that I'll always send push notifications on the browser, but this might be very few people might not like it, or few people might like it. Few people might use this option. So I'll provide this in the options page and in the options.html, and which could be shown here as well. Let's say if whatever the installed icons add-ons are there, I can actually see preferences. I can see the settings of those specific add-ons. So it is very specific to the add-ons. Few add-ons might have preferences, few add-ons might not provide, but it is to enhance the more preferences to the specific user for that specific add-on, and it is provided by the developer of that add-on. And now let's talk. These were the few of the components: browser action, page action, manifest.json, background script, content script, options page, like basic components which are required. Now let's talk about web extensions API, and I hope people would be aware what is an API, but just let me give you a brief idea. API actually acts as a mediator to serve there's already APIs are basically inbuilt stuffs which which a developer uses it to perform certain logics. And I'll not get into touch. I'll not get into depth because I've been my day-to-day activity gets involved only into APIs. I build APIs full time as a software developer, and I don't want to get involved in it right now because you might get confused. So let's keep it very simple. Uh, they are the existing stuffs or existing functions or existing APIs which are already there from web extensions API in the form of web extensions API, and any add-on developer can actually utilize them to build an add-on. So there are different notifications API, alarms API, bookmarks API, tabs API. So I'll focus on few of the APIs. So if you see this example, what here I'm doing is I'm just selecting the content, right? I'm clicking the word count. The number of word count would be this. So it gives me the number of word count and what are the text related information, characters or words. So this is happening. How is this happening? Because I've installed an add-on which is a word count. So it could be I have created one add-on or I have installed one add-on, which is through which I can get to know the word count. I don't need to count it. So for this, so this is actually a notification which is thrown on the browser, and you might have been getting this push notifications from different websites already, and you might be aware. So how this gets generated through add-on is you just need to use this code snippet in your code base, in your background script or content script, whatever you want to, wherever you want to use. So I'll dig deeper into this code snippet. This is browser. For any browser, this is basically a namespace which you use every time if you are writing a code for Firefox. So browser, then you are using the notifications API and you are trying to create that. You are using the function of this notifications API, which is create. And this is the name of the notification. And these would be the type basic, whatever the icon you want to print. So right now this Firefox logo is coming, but whatever the logo you want to give, whatever icon you want to provide here, you can just put it here, like the location of the icon. Next is title. The title is word count. You can provide it here. Whatever the message you want to print, it is words. So right now I have not given. So this is obviously you need to provide variables, total words, total characters, but this is not related to this example. So you can just think of this as the message, and above one is the word count is the title, and on the left side there is a icon, and you can provide this detail in this notification.create code snippet, and you can use the same thing in your code base. Now let's see another API, which is alarms API. As the name suggests, if you want to, it is related to alarm, of course. Whenever you want to have a periodic alarms, or you wake up at 5 a.m. daily or 7 a.m. daily, you have to set up alarm. So it's kind of periodic thing. So let's take an example. Let's say you want to build an add-on which you want to help the people that people are already using laptops a lot of, like their screen time is so much that they tend to forget to drink water like after specific hours. So you can actually create an add-on that actually that will be helpful for the developers or any person who is using laptop continuously, and it will alert the user that now this is the time, it's been 15 minutes, it's been 1 hour, that now you need to drink water and it's time to get it up and drink water. So it will throw up push notification. So what this is doing is it will create an alarm. The name of the alarm is periodic alarm, and after every 5 minutes it will start sending the user that you need to drink water. I'll show you the example of this alarms API too later on. Next is tabs API. So tabs API, I'll cover it faster. What it is doing is you need to use the browser action on clicked add listener, and what you're trying to you're just actually you can actually tinker with tabs, and through you can create a new tab, this code snippet will actually create a new tab example.org in your current browser. So what happens whenever you click the browser action, with browser action I mean whatever the browser action or page action you are using. If you click the add-on icon on your browser, wherever it is. Whenever you will click it, then it will listen the current tab. And if you are already aware with JavaScript, it's good. But for layman, like for people who don't know, then in layman, I'm trying to make you understand that you are using the browser namespace and the tabs API, and you are trying to create. You are using the the create function of the tabs API, which will create a new URL in the current browser, and that's what it happens, and nothing else. Next is Windows API. Whenever you want to tinker with Windows, let's say it is kind of a same code snippet apart from the Windows API. You are again, whenever you try to click the add-on and you're clicking the add-on icon, then it will listen to it, and it will create a different window with these two URLs. And we'll try this out surely, and I'll show you how it works. So we'll keep it very basic level, and later we can move it forward to the intermediate level. Next is very important topic, which is security. It's very close to my heart. So with security, it comes into the picture with respect to as a developer and also as a user. So if you are using Grammarly, then you are an add-on user, right? So, and you might use 50 add-ons, or you might have used already, but you might develop only one or two add-on only, right? So I'll focus more on the security part as a user right now. I'll talk about it more on the security part as a developer. So firstly, as a user, your concern should be, whenever you're trying to install an add-on, whenever you hit install button, then it will give you these things, permissions. Before add, it will alert the user that these things are required to, if you're installing this add-on. So if you're reading these permissions, if you're reading this permission that it access your data, browser tabs, display notifications to you, read, modify browser settings, then it means that you're giving them the permission to use this. And what happens is that sometimes an add-on will say that I will do some I'll provide you some X features. Let's say it will say that I'll send you notifications, so I'll alert you always, but in the background it might be accessing your data too, right? So this is where the permissions key field, which was there in the manifest.json, it will be coming to the picture. If a developer has provided tabs or bookmarks API or clipboard API, settings API in the permissions tab or notifications API, then it will be shown here. And while a user is trying to install those add-ons, they will get to know, okay, the add-on was only supposed to show the notifications, then why is it accessing my data? There is no need to access my data. And this way security breach can be like restricted, and you can save yourself from getting tracked, or your data, you can save your data, and this is how you can actually protect yourself. And this is what you do every time. I think like this is every time, at least I do, and everyone should do whenever you are trying to install an add-on. And also another features of secure, one of the other points which I'll mention here is, let's say you buy some product or item on Amazon, you try to read the reviews, right? How good, what is the rating, or what is the reviews or their add-on. Similarly, likewise, you should view the ratings and read the reviews before installing any add-on, because I think that like people think that they are investing their money to buy that product, so that's why they generally tend to read the reviews and ratings, but they don't do the similar thing while installing while installing any app or add-on or any download any software. But they tend to forget that their data is more precious than the items you buy on the internet. Like, that's more costlier, trust me. So just be aware that whatever the ratings reviews helps you, then only install those add-ons, and you'll have a smoothless or seamless experience on any browser. And do it on Chrome or do it for any browser. It could be Firefox or Chrome. Every developer tool has ratings or reviews area. And also make sure you give ratings or reviews to the, like, correct reviews and ratings to the add-ons which you are using, which would be helpful for the other people who can access that. Okay, cool. This was related to the security of user. Now let's get in touch with the security as a developers. With developers, I mean you should whatever the security things which you take care while developing any software. Like for example, you're using any API, right? Or you're using any third-party API, then that person might not be updating it. So try to use only those API which are like getting continuously updated, or they should not be a minified JS inside that. So try to refer to those kind of APIs or do perform security checks. So like whatever the things you do as a developer, you need to make sure that you need to focus on that as a add-ons developer as well. Next, one of the most important questions people ask me, like, how can I port? I've already created an add-on on Chrome. How can I publish it on Firefox? So let's say if you have written a browser add-on already on Chrome, then you might be using Chrome namespace. So Chrome only accepts only Chrome namespace. So I've mentioned, right, browser namespace, browser the browser action. So same thing happens in Chrome. Like instead of browser, it accepts only Chrome. But Firefox accepts both the things. You can use both Chrome or browser. So general convention is to use Chrome browser, which is accepted by Microsoft Edge as well, because it's a cross browser system. So Firefox accepts browser and Edge as well, but Chrome accepts only Chrome, and which makes it I won't say it's a very big problem, because you can just control find and replace all. Just if you have built Chrome, then you can just do that. But for Firefox, if you're publishing the same Chrome browser add-on, then you don't need to make any changes, because Firefox will simply understand, okay, if this is Chrome, then it is simply browser. So you don't need to make any changes for Firefox. But if you have built add-on on Firefox, let's say if you have built on Firefox first, that you might be using browser namespace. So in order to publish it to the Chrome, then you might need to replace all the browser keyword with the Chrome keyword, because Chrome won't have it. And there are a few other barriers as well, which are related to APIs. There are some of the APIs which might not be supported at Edge, which might not be supported at Firefox or Chrome, or internal stuffs of that APIs. Some things that we can discuss it later, but they are very basic level. So let's get into practical stuffs, because a lot of conceptual stuffs already happened. Like whenever you want to start, you must be thinking, okay, it's a lot of concepts. Now what should we do? So I'll suggest you guys to open https webextensions.in on the browser. Okay, I'll just show you. If people, I'll just try to do that right now. So it will give you the page where you can start it. You can actually create a boilerplate actually. So I'll show you what happens. So it will open this. You can just write the extension name, you can give the versioning name, you can give the description, you can provide all the information which are required for the manifest.json. Do you need a background script or not? As per your add-on, you before starting and writing an add-on, you need to focus on these fields before, like what to do or not to do. So do you need, so it will give you a zip file and you can just download and get started, rather than just simply structuring you can simply structure your add-ons directly yourself. It's not a big issue, but you can, in the starting, you can refer this, because it will be helpful. You can eliminate your time on spending on these structure stuffs. Or if you are not used to with the fancy UI stuff and you are a hardcore developer, then you can just use the command line tool which is already there. You can perform these. Just look around with the web extensions command line tool, which you can help. Like it will help you to build or run a text extensions simply by these commands. And there are more commands too, which you can actually Google it, and or I'll share the resources you can get to see. Now, after creating the add-on, next question would be, how can I debug it, or how can I publish it? So for debugging, you just need to go the about.debugging page on Firefox. you can enable it and you can load the temporary add-on, and I'll show you how I'll do that. So I'm skipping this, I'm going moving faster. And how to publish, you can see, read the URLs, which will be helpful. If you don't like, if you get stuck, you can reach out to me later on Telegram. And what else? One more thing I would like to focus on. For publishing an add-on, Firefox is free, completely free. But for publishing an add-on on Chrome, it requires 5 USD for the first add-on, and later on you can publish another 20 add-ons. So if you're trying it out just for the learning purpose, then I would suggest, why to spend some money? You can try it on Firefox. But if you have money, or if you're rich enough, or just to let it go $5, then you can try it on Chrome Web Store too. It's like, for example, private X is there on Firefox too, on free. With I didn't pay anything, but for Chrome I had to pay 5 USD. That's the thing, and that's very minimal amount. But as a student, you might not need to spend it for learning purpose. Last One of the last things is, these are the resources which would be very helpful for you, even especially the first one. I'll show you. I'll go walk through that resource because it's very helpful, and all these resources have been helpful for me while I was um, struggling enough to build an add-on, because I didn't know anyone. I didn't know these resources. I tried to accumulate the data, and I tried to read that, and I built those add-ons. And if you are facing any difficulty, you want to reach out to the add-ons community in Mozilla, then you can just chat around to this, or you can drop a mail to this dev add-ons community, and Mozilla employees itself will reply, or the add-ons community, any person from the add-ons community would be replying. It could be employees, it could be volunteers, or you can just ping on add-ons chat Telegram channel. Thank you. That's a lot. And you can the what I'll suggest you is, you can just get on this slides, and we are good to go ahead. I'll show you one of the examples. We are still have 10 minutes. I'll show you. So let's create. Let's say you can provide anything. Do I need to add the background script? I'll say no. Or yes, I don't need content script, browser action. I don't need to. No. So I'll give you, as I've already selected no, 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 because I don't want you guys to get confused in the starting. Yeah, so this is how I did nothing. I just used the web extensions UI, and this will be, yeah. So this will be there. Manifest.json is there. It has provided me the skeleton. It has provided me the skeleton with the name, description, whatever I mentioned, and by default it will fetch the icon of the add-on and background script JS. So what I'll try to do is, or I'll what I can do is background.script. Yeah. So let's try to do something, content script or background script. I'll not, one second. Yeah. Document. Or one second, I'll just show you. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll try to show you the steps. We'll go to the up. Yeah. We'll go to the about debugging page. So this has changed. You can click on this Firefox load temporary add-on, and where is it? Yeah, you can just select the manifest.json. Yeah. So if you see that, it will get to should get here. Okay, let me just. It should have. Acha, okay. It will be since I'm not using any browser action or page action. It will not be shown. If I use browser action, then it would have been shown here on the browser toolbar. But I'm not using anything. That's why it is not shown here. I'm just installing it. So what it will, let's say if I use this, then it should be there, right? So this is how what we do. It should have shown red. Cool. I think it's okay. I'll mention this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I can do this. Acha, I'm doing it in the background script. Let me do something else then. Browser action. Browser action. So what I'm trying to, I'll just show you what I'm trying to do here is. Yeah, I'll do this. Since you already have this extension, the slides, you can go through that. And what I'll suggest, you can just directly copy paste, so that just to save some time. Otherwise, I would have written. You can just try it out this way. I'll just say. Yeah. What? Okay. Okay, so this windows will be created whenever I'll click. So for this, I need browser action. So what you can do is, instead of writing, let's say if you're struggling enough, like what you can do is, as I mentioned, right now, at least for faster time, like and go to the anatomy. Yeah. Here. So page action is there, right? You can just have it this. I'll just go to the browser. Yeah. You can just copy this browser action. Paste this. It will give you, like, from with this you will not miss the syntaxes, and you don't need this title pop up at all. And default title is fine. Icon, whatever the icon is there already, otherwise it will miss the real icon. See, icon is already there. Since you are started, you used web extensions.ui, that front end thing, but for building boilerplate, but otherwise it won't be there. You need to put this thing in the skeleton, and this should be fine. Background script underscore this, and if I click, I'll just reload. I'll go to this. I have saved the file. I'll reload. I can see what are the errors. Expected double quote. Okay, in the web extensions description, line number. Okay. Oh, okay. Mm, no, it looks fine, right? Oh, actually, in Golang, we don't use semicolons. We don't have the concept, so I tend to miss that. No, double quoted, line 20. So it looks correct, right? Mm-hmm. What? It looks console creating this looks fine. Okay. Browser action, default action, or what would I have done is I'll do this thing. I might be missing something. Hmm. Yes. No. Browser action, yes. No. Hmm. Yeah. So it's already there in the manifest.json browser BBSR, this, but I don't need. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. So this is the manifest.json browser index.html. I don't need at all. I can remove it from the skeleton. This looks fine. Browser BBSR default title. Remove this. I can simply remove this. So what was the difference which I was facing? Default title 6. Hmm. Yeah, it should run this time. What I'll do is I'll remove this. Yeah. So I'll have got it because I'm using browser action in the browser toolbar. So if according to the logic, it should be like if I click the browser action, then it should create a new window. Let's see if it gets created or not. Okay, didn't created. So what I can do is I can put logs why it didn't happen, or in the background script. This is happening background scripts. The JSON or mm, Okay. And also I can just inspect it. What is it happening? So this is how you can debug the stuff, like in the background.json. Why, what's happening? Main.js name, this dot name says it's undefined. Okay, what is this? Index.html. It's not there at all, right? Hmm. Okay. Icons is fine. 64 icon pg. This browser action, default action. Hmm. Why is it not working? It should work. I don't know. This is right. Browser behavior. It should work. Okay. And the permissions. No, but I don't think permissions. So here I'll be using the permissions key field, Windows. So like similarly, you can use notifications if you are using notifications API. It should ideally work. I'm not sure why it's not working. Yeah, now it's fine. So it will give me the error. It is property extension 18 GRE model 18.9 18.3. I don't think so. It should be the problem. There's some other issue which I'm missing right now, I think. Okay, let's not get into it. I'll show you another stuff. Why is it happening? It should open. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll show you extension workshop.com. Yeah. Yeah, what you can go is you can just submit if you want to publish add-on, then you can submit it here. And what else? What I wanted to show here is you can do the tabs or whatever the things I mentioned, tabs API, whatever the tabs API, or the anatomy or the architecture, like user interface, content script, background scripts, like it will have face manifest the JSON you can build. Yes. So if you're new to it, you can go to the fundamentals of MDN. You can also see what are the differences between the Chrome extension or other browsers. You can test your add-on as well. So basically, it will also help you to check the helps you to check if your add-on is working fine or not in different platforms. And you can just read about this, like how you want to manage, develop, test, and like before publishing you need to test and debug. Like this is the way I'm debugging the add-on. Like I'm finding the mistakes, I have the errors, and every time you'll get it, and like it will show me the error. You can put console.log. That's one of the feature which I don't like about JS, to be honest, because like there is no other way apart from console.log. You just do everything. Yeah. So this Firefox extension, I went through this to MDN. MDN is actually Mozilla Developer Network, where you can find all the resources. Like W3 schools has resources, right? MDN has all the resources related to JavaScript, or it could be open source technologies. It from Rust to everything, even for add-ons. So you can see this is how add-on looks, and they have given a lot of features for games, for ad development. So basically you don't wouldn't have needed me if you already knew this page. You don't need me, because I didn't need anyone. I just did it myself by reading the articles, accessing the websites. Even they have provided the matrix pages. You just need to read everything to learn. Like, resources are already there, you just need to go through that. And what else I wanted to show is, there is an extension workshops. Yeah, this thing I wanted to show. I'll show. Yeah, this one. So if you go to this GitHub repository, MDN, it is developed by the volunteers and maintained by everyone, like volunteers who are into the add-ons community, and also through the and also by the add-ons community managers. So yes. So why I'm then showing this, because this was the first repo or first thing. Like, a lot of things are already there on the MDN, but they are conceptual steps. But sometimes you don't know how to actually build some add-on. How will it look like? So these are the basic snippets of the add-ons, and they are actually add-ons, but very small add-ons, just for learning and purpose, that so that you can implement it. Let's say I'll focus on Bordrify. So what you need to do here is, it has simple content script, which I didn't do. I was doing in the background script. If I actually write this code, I'll not write this code actually. I'll just show you how it works. So you can get to know what difference did I do. In the body.js, I just wrote, yeah, instead of solid, you can just write anything, right? So what it will do is, as I mentioned on the content script, for the mozilla.org domain, whatever the JS you want to run, you can just run it simply. What Let's say, yeah, this was Indian page, right? So it has mozilla.org domain. If I refresh it right now, nothing is there, because I have not reloaded my add-on. If I reload my add-on, then it should automatically reflect here. I don't know why it's not showing. It should show. It should show, yeah. No, it won't be here. You can try it out. It's a very basic thing. I don't know why it's not showing right now. It was interesting. I'm doing nothing generally. So it has Bordrify JS, Bordrify icons, nothing else. Yeah. So okay, sorry. How will it show? It's background script. Background. So whatever the script you want to run, you need to mention the name here. So the name was not correct. That's why, because I copied it, right? So I've saved it. I'll reload it, and once reloading, yeah, this red background is coming on this Mozilla, like Mozilla.org domain. It won't be shown here because it is not here. It won't be shown here. This is Firefox.com. But let's say I'm going to any other place. It, like with the domain, it will be there. Similarly, likewise, you can go with the you can try it out Windows API. For Windows API, as I mentioned, same stuff. It should be there. Windows manipulator. Yeah, it would be very simple. It won't have any issues. If you'll see, it has browser actions. It has windows.html, and in the Windows HTML. So consider this, see this Grammarly. So I didn't tell you one thing about what is popup.html. So basically, because it came here, if you'll see the manifest.json, it has this default pop-up. So this browser action means it will be on the toolbar, as I already mentioned. If I hover it here, then this is the default title. This Grammarly is coming because of the default title, which is there. This window manipulator is there, right? So if I hover over the browser action, browser toolbar icon, it will be whatever shown is there. It is actually default title, and if you click on that icon, and if you have already provided default pop-up, then this will be shown. So this is the pop-up, which is actually a HTML page and nothing else. So sign up page. So you might have already been experienced with building a web page or HTML, how you build any website, right? So this is, just consider this as a website only. This is a HTML page. Whatever you wanna do here, you can do. Just it is just in the form of pop-up and nothing else. So in the Windows HTML, it is a normal HTML, if you can see, and it will have JS, like CSS, whatever the things you do in normal stuff. So sign up stuffs and everything you can do. So Ghostry will also have, this is also another kind of pop-up. So right, so this is what I wanted to show, that this is pop-up, and if I hover here, the view Ghostry findings, the default thing. And yeah, let's try one thing as well. Let's install Hydrator, or I'll show you the code base. Actually, code base will actually help you to learn. Installing add-on might not help. See, the number of add-ons which are listed on this MDN examples are very good, and it will give you a lot of clarity on how to use which API. Let's say sometimes you know that this API needs to be used and you read about that article, but you need to see some applications or implementation which you can copy, or if you are a beginner, you don't have anyone, you need to see that how to use some API, alarm API, even though you know the syntaxes. So this is the notifications API. So notify link is there. If you see, this has manifest, see the structure is same. Notifications is there. It has the permissions notifications. So few API you need to provide permissions, and content scripts will be running and background scripts will be running. So yeah, it has the notifications. I'll show you where it is. Yeah. See this. I'm sure you have seen this in my slides. Browser notifications, great. So icon, whatever the icon you wanna put, title, message, anything you wanna show, and that's how you can do that. And if you want to see another live example, I can show you of yeah. So this is of another Mozilla TechSpeaker who contributes to the add-ons community, and look at his add-on. So basically, he has created this. His name is Santosh, and he has created in a very good way. It's not only about the code base, or it's not only about the add-on you build or publish it. It's more about the how you build it, how you make it open source, how you have presented it so that people can actually uh, contribute to it. If you are wondering that whether should I build an add-on, or so, I started learning add-on via contributing to his issues on his one of the issues in his one of the, so he has created this good first issue. You can try you can try actually this, you can get contribute to this, and you'll get an idea, okay, this is how code base looks and I can also implement this. So what it is doing is, this is manifest.json, and this is the simple hydrator. I think I might be using, yeah, simple hydrator add-on, which is actually something like it will alert you to drink water at specific times, and this was mentioned. uh, you can try using this, and it's very helpful. I have been using this previously, and yeah, install this. One of the thing which I mentioned, right? If you install it, okay, if you install it, then the security thing will be shown. Yeah, this thing, whatever the permission someone is actually fetching, the developers is fetching. So beware of, read this thing before adding it. So this is the practical stuffs, and you can actually see what are the, he's using pop-up HTML, pop-up HTML. You can read about that, and for sure it's pretty straightforward. It's not a very big thing. Yeah, I would say if you're building some Grammarly like add-on, then it's a pretty big thing, but not this thing. Yeah, that's all from my end. If you need the links, you can just take this link of this website, this thing, slides.com, Zainal extensions. You can take it forward, and you can reach out to me on Telegram or mail. Yeah, I'll stop sharing my screen. Let's see. Yeah, do you have any questions? Anyone has any question? Let me know.
Yes, ma'am. There are some questions in the chat box, comment section. You can
Do
say.
we always need to use scripts in JS only? Can't we use? Yeah, you can't use any other language. You can use Vanilla JS. You can use like Angular JS, Vue JS, any other frameworks of JS. But you need to use like there are only three components: HTML, CSS, JavaScripts. Nothing else to build and on, and Web Extensions API, which are on top of JavaScript. Yeah, I hope I have answered this question. Any other questions? What are the softwares and SDK to make it? There is no softwares or SDK, nothing else. You just need an code editor. You can try Notepad, you can try Atom, you can try IntelliJ, anything, whichever is like helpful for you. Anything open source would be preferable, of course, but anything, whatever you're comfortable with, that is the editor only, I think, and yeah, the browser. If it's Chrome, you're developing it for Chrome, then you need to use Chrome browser. That's one of the software, of course. And Firefox, yeah, that's it. And nothing else. Our PWA extensions are similar. I guess they have same components. Yeah, they have kind of the same components. I don't have much idea of PWA. But yes, they have service workers and all those stuffs, but they are not at all same. So it will run offline, of course, but they are not same. Do we need to think about security and privacy since some extensions provide advanced access to some site while using? Do we need to think about security and privacy while using some add-on? Yes, of course. If you are using some add-on, then it is something like you are adding using some app, right? You are giving access to other third-party add-on developers. You don't know what kind of developer mindset they have. They might have different mindset. Like they might be providing X feature, and they might not be like they might be writing that we are providing X feature, but they might not be giving it to you. So you need to be whatever I mentioned, right? You need to take care of the reviews, ratings, and while installing the add-ons, the pop-up that comes, you should review. And one of the other thing you should take care of, that I can show you, is that yeah, this is recommended extensions. So recommended extensions, any add-on, if you open any add-on and if it has recommended tag value, then you can blindly install those add-ons. Because as I mentioned, I work in the recommended extensions community board team, and what we do is we test, we choose, even we check that whether it is breaching any security. Even it is checked by the Mozilla employees, and it undergoes through rigorous testing, that and each code line base is checked whether it is not anyhow it is not compromising with the data of the user browser. So you can blindly install those add-ons, and apart from that, You can apart from that, you should always view the read the ratings and security. So yes, you should always need to think about security and privacy while accessing anything on the internet. Next question: how developers make money by creating such awesome add-ons? Okay, who pay them? So who pay them? We pay them. We pay them as in who are the users of that add-ons. So what is the thing is, if you see any add-on, I'll share my screen. So this was the recommended extensions which tag I was talking about. If you see this blindly, you can install this add-on. Uh, yeah, if you see any add-on, then go to this. There is a support this developer section where the developer is asking for small contribution. So this is an optional thing. So you don't need to. You just if you like someone's add-on, you can just contribute to that person as a because you are using. You can just buy them a cup of coffee kind of money, right? It could be $1, $5, anything. And there are extensions like Grammarly. If you need to sign up, you need to take their premium membership, and this is how you can earn money. Any developer or any company, you need to take their premium membership for specific premium features. I hope I answered. So while it's publishing, they will be always shown that do you want to generate money or something like that, and you can have this contribute this feature on your add-on when you publish it. Yeah, that's all from my end. Anything else? Any other questions?
No, ma'am. I think the questions are over. So I would like thank first ma'am for giving her knowledge and experiences with us, sharing her experiences and knowledge with us. So thank you, ma'am, for sharing your knowledge, time, and experience. And it was really an amazing session, and I think people who have watched it have got a lot of knowledge about add-ons and will surely make an contribution too. So thank you. I would request everyone to like, subscribe, and share this video so that we get some reach also. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Vipin, for having me, and thanks for being so patient enough, everyone. And I hope you guys, if you find anything interesting or even anything which is helpful for me to understand, or anything new comes up, or if you're stuck at something, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram or our mail ID. Somewhere you can reach out to Vikram if you need my details. I've already mentioned on my slides, though.
Yeah, we will surely provide. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great day. Bye.